Hello everyone, you're welcome to the second video in our series. In this video we will talk about how to build an audience both organically and inorganically. I know in the previous video I promised you that I was going to teach you how to build an audience both organically and inorganically, then how to create or pick a great offer or position your existing offer for maximum results, and also a simple but fail-proof system for presenting your offers for the best results. But by the time I started preparing my outline for this video, I discovered that I would be overloading you with too much information. So let's stick with just one of these three in this video. In subsequent videos, I will treat the other ones one by one. Do you understand what I'm talking about? So let's move on. So in this lesson today, we're going to talk about how to build an audience both organically and inorganically. Now imagine this. A guy walks to a lady he just saw on the street. Walks up to her and tells her, "Excuse me," and the lady turns and says, "Please, will you be my wife? I want us to have 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls. The name for the boys will be Daniel and Ezekiel. The girls will be Daniela and Ezekiela, whatever." What do you think the lady's response would be? The lady will first be shocked. The lady will conclude that this is a crazy man, and she will run away. She will give herself a good distance from the guy. Now, why is that so? Is it that the man is not a man? He might be well dressed, but even if he's wearing the best suits and behaves like that, the average lady will run away from him. Now, there's a problem there. The man has an intent. He likes the lady. The guy is not even crazy, maybe, but he has behaved like a crazy man. Now, when most people come online, they also behave like crazy people. They meet total strangers and then begin to tell them okay, let's say you meet a total stranger and you tell the person, "I have a house to sell to you." First and foremost, who are you? So in building an audience, you must understand that it's not everybody who might be interested in what you have that is an audience yet. Before somebody can rightly be called your audience, the person first has to know who you are. Know you to a point where he feels comfortable to do business with you. Now, still using the "will you be my wife" example. If you are married, you know that if you are married and have kids, you know that, well, there's a way you met your spouse, especially if you're a guy. Maybe you saw her on the road. Maybe you had an intention to marry her from the very time you met her. You saw her for the first time, but you didn't tell her to be your wife. If she was carrying a heavy load, you would say, let me help you with your load. You were doing little things, and she was feeling more comfortable with you over the time. And then after 6 months, you could now come to their house. "Hey, I like this," and you just crack jokes. "Oh, this is a friend. It's a family friend." Maybe you were even a friend to one of her brothers. And then as time went on, you began to spend time alone, talking. Now, after time went on, she began to miss you when she doesn't see you for a number of days. And then you got to a stage where when you popped the question, "Will you marry me?" it was not odd. She knew who you were. She understood you. In fact, she was now expecting you to ask that question. Now, when people come online, they try to throw away all these things, and that's why most people fail. You would sell to somebody is going to part with money. The person needs to know you to a point. The person needs to be comfortable with you to a point. The person needs to believe your ability to deliver. And all those things are the things that we call building an audience. It's not everybody who is interested in what you have to offer that is an audience yet. So let's get that straight. Now that we've got that straight, This process we're going to learn today is first going to talk about attracting this person, the people who are interested in what you have. It's also going to talk about how to make them an audience. Now, if you want to go really fast and you have some cash to invest, the whole talk about building an audience can be condensed into 3 simple steps. Get traffic to a page, a one-page site. A site that only has 1 page, yes. And when we talk of traffic, we're talking about human beings, visitors to your website. That's the first step. The second step is get their email addresses. It's simple too. Then the last step is start engaging with them. It's simple. Do you have a question? Okay.
What if I don't have a website? How do I go about that?
If you don't have a website, don't worry about that. We will get into that in other lessons. Remember, I told you I was going to give you a bonus video where you will learn a skill that helped me out. That skill was actually how to design websites within 1 hour. So you will get to learn how to build a website. That's not a problem. So how do you get your prospects in the first place? That is the traffic, the people who come to visit your site. Remember, when they are prospects, they are not yet your audience, but they are potential. You call them your potential audience at that point in time. So how do you get prospects in the first place? There are a number of options open to you. But before you even talk about building prospects, you need to ask yourself, who is your prospect? Everybody in the world is not your prospect. So you need to understand who your prospect is. And for you to do that, you need to build a customer profile. Who is your ideal customer? Let's say you make wedding cakes. You make wedding cakes. Who would be your ideal customer? You must not have just one ideal customer. You can have 3, 4 customer profiles. For example, let's use wedding cakes as an example. In some areas, it is the bride's father, the bride's parents will have a say on the wedding cake. They may decide, look, I want to give my daughter the best wedding cake. So you can say every parent who has a daughter who is about to get married is a qualified prospect if you're a wedding cake maker. If you make wedding cakes. Now, the lady herself, who is going to be the bride, who has a say in her wedding cake, is also a prospect. So you're looking at people who are about to get married, who are about to wed, who need wedding cakes. You're also looking at the men who will likely pick the bills. But you know that although the man picks the bills, he doesn't choose the wedding cake. In most cases, it's the ladies. So your customer profile, you're going to look at the ladies who are going to do the wedding. They are mothers and such. Now, if you've got that, okay, if it's ladies, it's not every lady who is about to get married. Do you want a lady who hopes to get married one day? It might be in 4 years' time, it might be in 5 years' time. That's a different person. There's a lady who is already engaged. That's a different type of person. So, if you're a wedding cake planner, you might be looking at ladies who are already engaged or ladies who have already fixed a wedding date. So, it's up to you. If you already do this business, that business, you will know the kind of people who make up your customer. Draw up their profile. Now, when you draw up their profile, you're going to begin to ask yourself, what options are available to you? Or before you even ask yourself what options are available to you, you're going to ask yourself, where do these people hang out normally? Online. Since we are talking about online, where do people who want to get married, where do ladies who will soon wed, where do they hang out? What kind of places do you find them online? If they are on Facebook, what type of pages do they visit? What type of things do they like? And when they leave Facebook, what type of sites do they visit? That is helping you. The more detailed your customer profile is, the more likely you will attract them at lower cost and faster. For example, if you say, every lady who is over 23 years old is my prospect. What about ladies who first want to get their master's degree or get their doctorate before they get married? You add them to the mix. Not every lady who is 23 plans to get married in 6 months' time. Not even all ladies plan to get married. So you need to know your customer. Create a customer profile. Some people say create a customer persona. When you create a customer persona, then you can begin to what? Target that person. I hope everybody understands what I just said now. If you have not created a customer profile, you're just wasting your time. So let's go to the next thing. Now, after creating a customer profile, you need to know the options that are available to you online. What options are available to you? Number one, search engines. By search engines, we mean Google, YouTube, Bing, Yandex, all those search engines where you go, type in a key phrase or a keyword, and then you get results. That's an option. Now, search engines, when you type in a search phrase like wedding cakes, when you type in wedding cakes, results come up. Let's not just talk about it. Let's do it. Wedding cakes. Wedding cakes. You see results. I have results. It's showing me a number of results. Now look at, this is somebody who does wedding cakes. Says say cheese wedding cakes. Where is it? Let me see. Suggest website. Let me see if they have a website. Now, by just doing this, we've come to a page. Let me go back. I want to okay, this is another example. Diva cakes and confections. Now, this is another cake site. Now, how did I get to this site? Remember, everything started with what? A search. Now, do you know that everybody who searches for wedding cakes already is telling you that they want something, they have something to do, or they require wedding cakes? Either they directly are wedding, or somebody in their life is wedding and they need wedding cakes. Now, have you asked yourself the value these people who show up here, the value they actually get from this search? Can you imagine the number of customers they get from this? We'll get to that later, but let's go back to our lesson. We said you have your options: search engines, Google, YouTube, Bing, Yandex, etc. There are many other search engines. Okay, now there is another option: social networks, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, etc. Let's look at Facebook. Can I do something about wedding cakes too on Facebook? Let's see. Wedding cakes. You can see there are sites, there are pages on Facebook that talk about, that are just about wedding cakes. Let me pick one. Let me just pick this one. This is a wedding cake page. Are you seeing what is happening? These are options. Now, people who want to wed, if you want to wed and you need wedding cakes, you'll be interested in a site like this. If not to buy an order from them, to get wedding cake ideas. Still stay with me. Those are options open to you. Okay? We have another option. Sites in your niche and related niches, forums, and question and answer site. Let's say your site is about wedding cakes. Since we have picked wedding cakes, let's say your site is about wedding cakes. Every site that talks about how to make wedding cakes, or how to pick the best wedding cake. wedding cakes are top tips, blah, blah, blah. You see, all these sites here are opportunities for you to get prospects, to build your traffic, which will help you build your audience. Still stay with me. You also have other options. I talked about sites in your niche and related niches, forums and question and answer sites. Now, forums are places, like if you're in Nigeria, there's one they call Naira Land. People go and post questions. You can look for wedding cake forums, let me just say. Or let's say cake forums. Cake, okay, see, this is a cake forum. You can answer questions, discuss recipes, Cake Central. You can ask questions. People who are interested in cakes come here. But these ones will likely be more of people who make wedding cakes themselves. This is another option open up to you. So the options are quite vast and endless. I just want to limit it to this number. But when you talk about sites in your niche, related sites, forums, and question and answer sites, you see it's wide. It's a very broad category here. And then when we talk about related niches, if your site is about wedding cakes, or you are about wedding cakes, it doesn't mean that it's only sites that do wedding cakes that you can attract people from. You can also attract people from sites that have to do with decorations or recipes. Think about it. Sites that talk about kitchen products and things like that, they are related. I think that this is just to show you the options that are open to you. So how can you build an audience through search engines? We have listed options: search engines, Facebook, whatever. So how can you build an audience through search engines? You can do it organically by building sites that they love and send traffic to. For you to do that, you can also do that inorganically by paying them to send traffic to you. For you to do that, you need to find out how Google builds, what Google wants you to do, what Google loves. So now let's take a look at how to get traffic from search engines, Google especially, because Google is the big boy in search traffic. I said this is getting traffic from Google is about the best form of traffic you can get. If you want to get a hot prospect that will easily convert to an audience, if you know what you're doing, search engine traffic is one of the very best ways. Why? You are not the one searching for them. They are the ones searching for you. Think about it. It's easier to sell water to a man who has been walking for the past 2 hours in the hot sun looking for where to buy cold water than a man who is sitting in his house, is not thinking about water, and you go to him to explain the benefits of water. So when people come on Google and run a search, let me use it. If when somebody comes to Google and run a search, like if somebody says how to lose weight, what that person is telling you, I need to lose weight. So you see, these sites that are showing up in these top results, they are gaining a lot of free traffic, but highly targeted. The prospects are highly targeted people who really need to lose weight. It makes their work quite very easy. So the question is, how do you get into that place? First, you start with keyword research. You do keyword research. This is not the best tool to use, but remember what I'm doing here is just to show you a general idea. This is called Google AdWords Keyword Planner. You can, it's not the tool I use for my research, but it's a free tool, but it will give you a general idea of what's possible, what's available, the key search volumes. But if you want to build your site, there are better tools which I will introduce to you much later. The interesting thing about them is that they are not free. This one is free, but everybody who wants the free stuff also uses it. So it won't give you the very best of results. In fact, Google now actually makes it difficult for you to get the very best results from this. It doesn't give you detailed information like it used to give in the past. So there are tools that give you detailed information. You can find out keywords that have very low competition. In fact, there are some keywords that if you write a page, if you write stuff on them today, before the end of the week, you will be ranking number 1. But the issue is, do you know them? This particular tool will not show you those key phrases. We call them long tail keywords. Long tail key phrases. They are easy to for you to rank for. What I mean when I use the word rank, you need to. I'm assuming you don't know anything about internet marketing, so I will explain it. Ranking means, like as I just typed in, how to lose weight. This is an ad. This is an ad, so it's not ranking. This is the number 1 site, so it's ranking number 1. This is the number 2 site. It is ranking number 2. You understand what I mean? By positioning. The position you get in the search result. That's what I mean when you hear me use the word rank. So back to what I was saying. Those such keywords when you use them, they enable you rank high, faster. The interesting thing about them too is that they are much more targeted. Let me show you what I mean by targeted. Which one do you think is more targeted of these 2 key phrases? Lose weight. This is a key phrase, a keyword. Lose weight. And how to lose weight without exercise. Which of the 2? You can even go further. Which one, if you compare how to lose weight without exercise, it's not say how to lose belly fat without exercise. Without exercise. Follow my point. I hope what I'm doing is making sense to you. If someone says, how do I lose weight? He has asked you a general question. He just wants to lose weight. When somebody say, I want to lose belly fat, he's specified it. So if you are attracting this, this person wants to lose belly fat. So he's a highly targeted prospect who has told you his particular pain point. Now he has also gone further to tell you, I want to lose belly fat without exercise. So this one is a longer tail keyword than lose weight. Lose weight is just 2 words that make up the phrase. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, interestingly, this keyword is actually gives you better conversions than lose weight. Because some people want to lose weight by exercising. Some people want to lose weight by dieting properly. Some people want to lose weight in their backside. Some want to lose weight, belly fat. Some want to get in shape, become trimmer. Some want to use pills. This person is telling you how to lose belly fat without exercise. Now, to make it even much more a longer tail, I have another one. How to lose belly fat without exercise and pills. So, this is longer tail. It will have a lower search volume. But you know the truth? It is more targeted. Now, if I tell you to write an article on this, how to lose belly fat without exercise and pills, you already know what to write. Like I said, you already know what to write. This has given you the person's direct question. Now, the other one says, how to lose belly fat without exercise naturally. How to lose belly fat in 7 days at home. So you don't give these people are telling you how they want it to happen. Like the person who says how to lose belly fat in 7 days at home, you will not tell him to go to the gym. The one who says I want to lose belly fat without exercise naturally, you won't tell him to use pills. So you are getting more insight. So understand that these longer tail keywords, they actually help you get results faster, get more targeted people. They are also easier to rank for. And they actually, in per keyword, per person they bring, they have higher value. You follow my point? Now, but this tool that we're talking about here will not give you those long tail keywords. It won't give you those long tail keywords. When your website ranks, like some of you have had me using the word ranking. When your website ranks, let's use an example, weight loss. If you rank number 1 for weight loss, look at here's an idea of how many people your site is potentially exposed to. Your site is potentially exposed to 100,000 to 1 million people. That's the average monthly searches. Like I said, Google doesn't give you details again in this tool, but there are tools that will tell you exactly how many people searched for so and so number of people in the past 1 month. This keyword planner doesn't do that now, but as we go on later, I will show you tools, though they are paid, but they will give you critical info. In fact, they will even go as far as telling you the competition you stand. If you want to rank for this keyword, the competition is very high. Don't go for it. Go for lower ones. Go for this other one. So now, if you rank number 1 for weight loss, I don't advise you to go for these two, and it gets 100K to 1 million searches per month. That means that if you are number 1, you should expect at least, if you've done everything right, you should expect at least between 20 to 40%. But let's just say 20% of the total search volume. So if it has 1 million searches, you can expect that keyword alone to give you 200,000. It's not cast in stone, because Google also has done a lot of things to reduce the number of prospects you can get from this. Like the other time I searched, you notice that there were a lot of ads, but like in this kind of long tail keywords, which is one of the advantages they have, you will see that this one is ranking number 1. There are no ads here. It's ranking, and it's a highly targeted listen. But the truth about it is that this keyword will not have such a huge search volume. This one might just have maybe 1,000 or less. But think about it. Let's say this one has 2,000 searches in a month, and you are the one ranking number 1 here. Think about it. If you get 20% of 2,000, that's 400. If you get 20% of what that's 200, and you don't pay for it every month. Now let's say you have keywords like this, 100 of them that you are ranking number 1 for. Do you not see the power? 200 times 100 gives you 20,000. What if you have 1,000 of them over the course of a year? 200 times 1,000 gives you 200,000. And it is not just anybody coming. It's people who are seriously interested in what you have to offer. Now, what I'm doing here is giving you an overview, the possibility. We will go into how to do it step by step, minute by minute, broken down over 90 days. Because you see, what I'm doing here is rushing through things, because I want you to get a bird's eye view of what you have to do, of what is possible. Because there's some people send me mails and say, I've worked online for how many years, I've not made this, this is part of the reason you don't understand how the whole thing works. This one is to help you get an overview of how things work. After getting the overview, we will now go into the next phase, which is taking you. Day 1, do this. Day 2, do this. For now, I'm taking you through a journey to show you what's possible. Okay? Now, let's go back to our slide. We say you start with keyword research. The keyword research gives you intelligence to know what you should go for. The tool I showed you is the free one. That's not the one you will use. We will pick a paid tool that really breaks things down for you. Tell you, go for this, don't go for that. Here's why you should go. This one is profitable, this one is not profitable. Okay? Now, when you have picked the right keywords, the next thing you do is you develop lots of top quality content and optimize them. That's the way you go about it. Now, first, if somebody has told you, like in that example, the person says, how to lose belly fat without exercise. I'll ask you a question. If you write an article that doesn't answer this question, how to lose belly fat, and doesn't answer the person how to do it without exercise and pills, do you think the person will be interested in reading what you have? He wouldn't. So you've lost the person. So as far as that person is concerned, that piece of content is not top quality. For it to be top quality, it needs to address the questions raised by this person. One, how do I lose belly fat? Now, how do I do it without exercise? And how do I do it without pills? So if I were to write an article on this, I would say, first, how to lose belly fat. There are many ways to lose belly fat. But in this article, we're going to talk about one, how to do it without exercise, and how to do it without pills. And I go further to explain how to do it. If this person reads an article that explains that way, the person will be interested, and that is top quality. So your top quality piece of content is a piece of content that explains, answers the question the searcher has. Now, when you have answered the searcher's question, there's another part to it. There's something search engines want. It's the search engine that ranks you. So there are things we call tags that you will learn later on. Tags. You need to pick a focus keyword. You need to spread them in certain places, in a certain density. You need to put it in a particular type of way for your article or for your video or for whatever you have to show up in the top rankings. Like I said, in your day-to-day action plan that will give you much later on, we will break these things down, tell you, do this, do that, here's why to do this, here's why to do that, and here's why not to do that. Then the next thing is you build top quality links to your content. Google has over 200 signals that it tracks in order to rank sites number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 100. This site that is ranking number 1 for this how to lose belly fat without exercise, this site has done certain things right in order to earn this position. And among all the things it has done right, one of the most known and most powerful factors is building top quality links. You see, a link is like a vote of confidence. So when another site puts a link on its page to your site, that site is telling Google, I'm voting for that guy's content on this matter. It is top quality stuff. Now, if that content is in the same niche, it's a related niche. Let's say you are a weight loss site, another weight loss site links to you on the subject matter of how to lose belly fat without exercise and pills. Google takes it more seriously than if a cake decorating site shows links to this. Now, also, there are sites that have high authority and there are sites that have low authority. Authority measured in DA. Don't worry about this if you don't know what it is. You will get to know later. Let's say one site has a DA of 20. Another site has a DA of 50. That site that has a DA of 50 gives you a link. The link has much more value than the one that has a DA of 20. All other things being equal. So like I said, we will get into the details of this in our day-to-day action plan. Say today, do this. When we get to that point, you will begin to understand the nitty-gritty of this, of building top quality links to your content. Now, let's leave search engines. Remember, they were just one of our options for building traffic. We have another option. The other option is social networks. You have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have Twitter, you have YouTube again. Remember, I mentioned YouTube as a search engine, and also mentioned it as I'm also mentioning it now as a social network. Actually, YouTube is both. It's a search engine, it's a social network too. Now we also have Pinterest. There are many, many more. You know a lot of them. Now, most people are very familiar with Facebook and Instagram. But when it comes to social network, Facebook is the big dog. All of you know what Facebook is. So I won't waste time on that. But many people come on Facebook and they chat, they do a lot of things, but they just don't know how to get people, build prospects, build an audience using Facebook. But there's a way to go about it if you want to get results. One, you can do it organically. You can create accounts in social networks like YouTube, like Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, all of them. And then you start engaging people with interesting content. However, this is not my style because it can be quite time consuming and I value my time a lot. Think about it. When Facebook was much newer, when it was much younger, if you make a post, people love it will go quickly, it will move, everybody who is your friend will see it. But today, even if you have a page and you share a post, like I have a page that has close to 5,000 people, but sometimes when I share a post, less than 1,000 people are reached on that stuff. Ask yourself why. Everybody's posting, and your news feed can only contain just this much. Now, Facebook has maybe close to 1.8 billion users now. Think about it. If everybody's posting, how many of that can be contained in your news feed? Then there's also the other matter that these networks are committed to making a profit. The investors had invested a lot in them. They spend a lot of money in maintaining the server. So they have to find a way to make money. And one of the ways they find to make money is by sponsoring ads. So if you want your stuff to show up, even to people who are already following you on Facebook, on your Facebook page, you have to pay a little. Now, it's nothing bad. It's not bad. If you know how to go about it, you can actually build a highly profitable business from it. Now, some people waste their time trying to do the free way. If you have all the time in the world, please go ahead. But you now discover that most of the people who will be following you are people whom you already know. Think about it. When you build a brand new page, if you know how to do that, if you build a brand new page, you tell you invite. Check, most of the people it's telling you to invite are people you already know. So how do you build people who you really want to market to? Because people whom you already know, you can already reach. Here's what I recommend. Spend some money to get the best results fast. Let's use Facebook as an example. Now, you build a page. I won't teach you how to now. I just want to show you how I can quickly use Facebook to get traffic. Now, let me go to manage ads. I want to show you what is possible on Facebook. Now, this is one account I have. This is in Naira. You can start a campaign with as little as 200 Naira if you're in Nigeria. If you're not in Nigeria, in other countries, check your currency. You will discover, like if you're in the US, you can start with as little as, you can start just by inputting your credit card, and they will give you a credit threshold of $25. I have put an account that uses Naira and another one that uses dollars. That's my business account. Let me use my business account. So here's my business account. I've opened, I want to just go to one of the now, this is one of my accounts. Now, if you come here, you see ads managers. Now, there are a lot of stuff here. Look at all the tools. You have audience insights, creative hub, business manager, ads manager, page boost, app dashboard, automated rules, a lot of things. Now, if you open this, you might get a bit intimidated. But truth be told, setting up an ad on Facebook is just about a few major things. First, you need to have your audience, know who you are targeting. If you know who you are targeting, your battle is almost won. Number two, know what type of conversion you want, what type of result you want. Do you want leads? Do you want clicks? Do you want conversions? That's people who buy or do stuff. Now, I'm going to just run through an ad for those who think it's a complex thing. It's not complex. it's what's behind it that is actually complex. Let's create an ad. Now, look at what do I want to achieve. It's asking you, what's your marketing objective? Brand awareness, reach, traffic, engagement, app installs, video views, lead generation, conversions, product catalog, store visits. So you are covered, whatever you are doing. Let's just assume, for the purpose of this training, let's just say I want traffic. I go traffic. Now it's asking me, it's assuming I want to advertise to people in my country. Let's just leave it. And ask, okay, where do you want to advertise? Your website. Okay, I want to advertise on my website. Let me leave it here. Let me scroll down. Pick an audience. Let's say I want people in Nigeria. So sorry, pick an audience. I already have saved audiences before. I will get to that. Since you don't have that now, you may just say pick a location. So I pick Nigeria. It's already there. I want to sell cake. I want to get people who want to make cakes. So I come down. Which age? If we've done our work very well, I can say, okay, let's look at people between 25 and 65. Men? No. Men don't make decisions when it comes to wedding cakes. Let's pick women only. So, language, of course, is English. I pick English all. So, targeting, we'll go for interest. What am I looking for? What are they interested in? Let me say wedding cakes. Do you see? Wedding cake. Amazing wedding cake. Custom wedding cakes. Let's just pick wedding cakes. Let's see how many people it will give us. It has 380,000 people are interested in amazing cakes. This is just me starting. Now, some people think, no, there are still a lot I can do here. I can go as far as looking for ladies who are engaged, who will wed in 6 months' time, who plan to wed in one year's time. But like what I'm doing here is to show you how easy it is. How it's a straightforward process. So I'm not going to go into all those now. I just want to give you a run through for those who have never come in here before. Some people don't even know this area exists on Facebook. In fact, I can reduce my targeting. For God's sake, if I'm doing wedding cakes, I might not be able to supply people in Abuja if I'm in Lagos. So let me even go even deeper and say, okay, I want people only in Lagos. I want people in Lagos. Lagos State, Nigeria. Now, I've picked people in Lagos. Where do I want to service? Which part of Lagos do I want to service? Let's see. I can go as far as reducing the radius. I don't want people, because if I put 25 mile radius, it might include people in Ogun State. Let me reduce it. I reduce it to 10. You see, Lagos State. What if I want to even go further and just pick people just in Surulere? You can go. You can do a lot. Like I said, I don't want to waste your time on this. When we get into other lessons where we're dealing with Facebook ads particularly and how to do targeting, local targeting, I will get into this in details. But let me just run through. I'm almost getting carried away. Let me not get carried away. Let's get to the next part. Is placements. Where do I want it? Do I want it automatic? I usually don't like automatic. I pick. I say, I can decide to put it on just my news feed, showing you, and I can also decide to put it on Instagram, depending on my audience. I can also decide not to put it in any of them and put it only on Facebook. So, I've chosen to put it only on Facebook in my news feed. Then the next thing is I go to budget and scheduling. I can decide to just spend how much? Daily budget. Let me see how low I can go. Watch yourself and see how low we can go. See? Let's see. This means that I will spend $7 per week. So what is your bid amount? You decide. You can leave it automatic. You can also pick manual. I like picking manual because I've gauged how much I think a link is worth. So let me just say, in this case, I put 0.08. When I'm satisfied, I'm not teaching you how to do this now. I'm just doing a run through for you to see how quickly you can go through it. I go to the next part. Continue. What do I do? Let me just land and win. You can use an existing post. So if you already have stuff there, you can use that. When you're satisfied with what you have done, you click review or confirm. You review, and when you are through, you confirm. Now, if I don't want to use an existing post, I can create an ad. If I want to create an ad, I can type my stuff. Facebook gives me images. If I say I want to use this option, I can browse my own library. I can go and use Facebook's images. Facebook has provided, yes, for free. Once you are doing an advert with them, you can pick plenty. Let me just say, I want to do on wedding cake, and I say wedding cakes, wedding cake. You can see wedding cakes. So I choose which one I want and put in my stuff. Let me pick. I've picked it, done. It shows up. Just trying to show you that all you need to actually make this thing work is there. But that's what we will teach you in the day-to-day plan, because if I attempt to teach it in this one video, something that the Facebook video alone will take me about 10 different videos to treat each aspect. It's not that it's long. It won't take you long to set a video and an ad up if you know what you need to do. But if you don't understand each of the component parts, you just put it and you waste your money. So I'm running through to show you how easy it is to set up. But the knowledge that makes you set up correctly is what we will teach you. Maybe in Facebook alone might take up to 10 videos, because we will teach how to select your audience, how to fine-tune your audience, how to target that audience and make it laser targeted, so that you get people who are so interested in what you want to do, how to narrow down, how to scale. Those are all things you're going to do. So that should give you an idea the possibilities that exist at the back of Facebook. Now, when you do that on Facebook, you can use it to build a brand new page. I started a page ending of September. Okay, not ending, around 13th of September. And by the first week of October, we already had about 4,000 followers on Facebook, had almost 4,000, close to 5,000 subscribers on email using Facebook. So you can make it that fast. In fact, I slowed down because I could actually, between that 13th and the 13th of October, I could have actually built 1,000 subscribers every day. In fact, if you want to build 10,000 every day, Facebook has the capacity, but you need to know how to go about it. That's what we will teach you in the day-to-day steps. Okay, now let's move on. Let's move on to other things. Leveraging sites in your niche and related niches. How do you leverage sites in your niche and related niches? There are a number of ways to do this. Number one, you can guest post. That's organic. You can pay to advertise. That's inorganic. You can comment with a link back to your site. That's actually organic. You can also answer questions on forums, question and answer sites like Quora and the like. I just want to show you some quick examples Let me leave Facebook. I'm closing this. Now, this is a site. Let's say I am talking about Facebook stuff here. So this site teaches something on Facebook, and I know they have quite a lot of visitors on this site. To give you an idea, look at the number of people who have just shared this content. 114 people have shared it. So if I can show up in the comments here, this site also allows you to put a link in your comment. Now, if I come here and leave a comment, like this person left a comment, if you click the link, you will go to his site. Let's see. That's another site. Learn the act of making money online. See, he has just got one visitor. The issue is, anybody who is interested in that other site is likely interested in what he's doing here. Now, the only reason why I'm not going ahead to do stuff here is because I'm only showing an example. Assuming I was reading that article on that page because I was actually interested, I would have just gone ahead to find out more about this site or be interested in it. That's one way you can build traffic from other sites. So let me close this. The other way is by guest blogging. Guest blogging. That is, it's not your site, but it's a high traffic site, and they get a lot of traffic. But if you have a blog or a website, you know that one of the most difficult things for you as a webmaster or a blog owner is producing top quality content all the time. So sometimes you need help, and sometimes the way you reward people who help you is by allowing them to put a link in an article they write. They write a wonderful article sent to you, you post it on their site, and they put their bylines. Their byline is a link back to your site, back to their sites from your site. So let's say a site gets 1,000 visitors every day, and you write an article for them, and they put you on their homepage, and 1,000 people come there, and they read the article, and from that 1,000, maybe 100 of them click the link to your site within that article. You've got 100 visitors. That's one of the ways to leverage other people's site. Now, if you see a site that has high authority and has massive traffic, you write an article for them. Some of them can send you thousands of visitors just by that. But the truth too is that getting your articles published on such site is actually also difficult. But now we'll have a series where we will teach you how to go about guest blogging, because you don't only guest blog to get direct traffic, you also guest blog to build links. So what I'm showing you here is I'm giving you ideas to show you opportunities, how everyone can do it. This one is difficult because you have to write very top quality articles, distribute. When you write one here, you need to tweak it so that it won't be duplicate to share on another site. So let's say you have 100 sites, top quality sites, that can send you just 1,000 people from their guest posts. By the time you publish on those 100 sites, you would have got 100,000 visitors. But I have to tell you, it's not as easy as I've just said it. It's serious hard work. Believe me, serious hard work. The other thing is answering questions on question and answer sites like Quora. Let me give you an example. Quora. So you can share knowledge and better understand the world. So if you sign up here and you are an expert in something, you know something, you check questions people have, you give them answers. Your link is there. If they want more, they can click to your site. You can also do the same thing in forums. There are forums where people ask questions. I don't know how to do this. How is this? You answer them. And most times they will allow you to put a signature file. A signature file is a link you talk about yourself a little and a link there to your site. But like I told you, those things are organic methods, but they are quite tough and they take a lot of time. Now I think I've given you an overview of how to get traffic to how to get traffic from which you will build an audience. Don't forget what I said at the beginning. Now, when you get the traffic, you have to find a way to build an audience from them. For you to build an audience from the traffic you've got, you need to have a method of engaging with them again. If somebody visits your site once, you can't call that person your audience. The person has given you audience quite for the length of time he stayed on your site. But for you to say he is now your audience, you need to have a way of reaching him over and over again. That way is the most popular and the easiest and the most effective is email. That is why when I started, I said what? You send them. Let's get back to the beginning again. So you see, because the beginning is where we will end. Fine. We said, so if you want to build an audience, you have 3 things to do. You get traffic to a page. And when we started, we said a one-page site. Even if you have a blog, have a site that has 1,000 pages, you still can put what we call a sign-up form on the page, an opt-in form. From there, the traffic that comes, you give them something that they will want, like a free report, a training series. They give you their emails. The email is put in a database. That's the giving your emails, put in a database, and then you can start engaging with them. You can then start teaching them further, telling them things, teaching them more things. As you discuss and communicate with them over and over, they start becoming comfortable with you. And over time, they can now do business with you. Now, when I say over and over, now it doesn't mean that you cannot get someone today and he buys from you today. If somebody searches today, he can buy from you today. But there's a level of investment people don't make with people whom they have just made first contact with. It's just natural. Your mom taught you not to deal with strangers. And you've grown up to obey her. We don't deal with strangers. We don't like dealing with strangers. We like getting comfortable with people before we start doing things with them. So this is the process. You attract them to a place. In this case, your email. They give you their emails. You start engaging with them. So what I've taught you today is giving you an overview of how to get these people. A number of options. There are many, many more other ways. If I break this into details, they can get up to 100 or more. But we're going to take you step by step in series, in videos much down in the series. Now, we promised in our last video that we're going to teach you 3 things. I've only taught you one of them, and you can see how much time we've already spent. Now, in the next video, we're going to concentrate, giving you an overview of how to create or pick a great offer or position your existing offer for maximum results. It will also be another overview. You understand why I'm giving you an overview? Because if you don't have a clear understanding of a business, how can you go about building it? So that's what I'm doing now, giving you an overview. But from the overview, it will begin to make sense to you. Okay, this is where I have been failing. This is what I need to do. So, as always, I would like you to leave your comments down. Ask me questions. I will read each of the comments personally. If you have questions, I will answer you. And then if the questions are not things I will treat in a video, I will refer you to content or answer them right there. So, if you have a question, drop them. If you don't have a question, but there's something you benefited from this video, please tell me in the comment section. I would like to hear from you. See you in the next video. God bless you. Thanks for watching.